Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, writers. This video walkthrough will include information on how to submit your final portfolio. It's extremely important that you watch all the way through so that you make sure that you have submitted this assignment correctly. So first of all, I want to remind you here on Classroom, before you begin to submit your portfolio, make sure you've looked over the portfolio checklist. Extremely important here on top is step 1, making sure everything on your portfolio will be viewable. You also need to make sure that you have looked at your peer review feedback. Some of that feedback should include whether things are viewable and also other organizational and design types of choices and completion. And step 2 on the checklist is your final reminder of what the portfolio needs to include. So do make sure that you have double checked your portfolio against the checklist before you get ready to submit. Then when you are looking at your portfolio, and here's just a sample portfolio I made in class, to make your portfolio shareable, you first need to go up here and hit publish. So if you did this step before peer reviews, you'll do it again. This should reflect whatever you put here in the top left, but if you haven't done it yet, you want to put something like your name, portfolio on there so that the URL reflects you. Anyone at UCM, you can keep that the same. If that's what it says, that's probably what you want. And then you'll hit publish. And then your website is officially on the internet. From here, to get your URL, you need to go back to this publish button and click this arrow here, and then choose view published site. And then it will open up a new window probably, and then this is what your portfolio will look like to others. You want to make sure that you are on your home page. You don't want to send me a link to, one of the random paper pages. You want it to open up when someone clicks the link to the home page. So you go there, then you go over here and grab your URL. So you'll just copy that URL. When you look at it, you should notice, if you're in the wrong spot, it'll say paper number 1. But it's really important too that you grab it from view published site. So if you're just grabbing it before then, it'll have edit on the end, and that won't take me correctly to it. So it needs to, you need to make sure to do the pull down, view published site, and then go to that one, the home screen, and grab the URL. You can notice how this one says home on the end, which is what we want, right? So from there, you will follow the instructions on the portfolio assignment sheet. So you can open that up and read the instructions at the very top. They have here in this first paragraph information about how to submit your portfolio via email. Notice it tells you what to do in the subject line, what the email itself should include. And then remember, after you send that email, make sure that you get that reply email from me within a reasonable amount of time. You should get it within the same day, or if you sent your portfolio at night, by noon the next day probably. And that is your only confirmation that you have successfully submitted your portfolio. Also make sure that you're checking your emails frequently after you submit your portfolio until you get that score back from me and until you see your grades posted the Wednesday after finals week. And be emailing me quickly if any problems arise, as I will be emailing you so that you have time to address those issues. So then you will go then to your email, to your student Gmail with your link, compose the email following these instructions, and send it to me by your group's due date. That's all, writers. Have a good one.